Well, Micky, you weren't very happy with your side at the weekend, but tonight you must be very, very pleased with the effort and the performance they put in.
Without a doubt, and that's why that you get unhappy with them, because you see the levels that they can hit. So I had every right to be disappointed with them after the game, and then when we came together again on Monday, we went through it all again, because we know the qualities that they have, but it is a young team in terms of experience. But games like the night will be massive in the building forward with their careers. So we're just building something. That's what we keep on saying to everybody. It's a building job. Of course, everybody wants and expects much more. But we know at the football club that the players that we brought in, we're going to have time to grow. And you've seen from the performance this evening that they're definitely going in the right direction. Now we just have to find the consistency in that, which is with experience, learning what the game's asking you and being good at it. So I could not fault them this evening. They deserve a lot of praise that should come their way, but we have to go again on the Saturday and show the same qualities. Of course the game will be different, but it's the way that you attack the asks of the game with the attitude that they showed tonight is what they've got to get better at. So that's something that we can now refer back to and say, well, remember when we played Newcastle, the asks of the game, how you attacked them, how you were good at them, and how you tried to find a way back into the game against a really good team. So no, only praise, but we will be back into them again and keep them moving forward on their learning curve.
Is that football memory very important, as you say, particularly with young players, that they take that forward into the day league fixtures, as you say, cultures for the weekend, but they must store that muscle. They must always make sure they know and remember that and then take it into the games.
Well, anybody that knows anything about learning, that is it. Anything knows about improvement, that is it. You improve from experience and you improve from the challenges that come your way, and you find a way of fixing what you weren't good at, and you congratulate yourself on the things that you're good at. That's the way it is. That's what I do as the coach, stroke manager, stroke teach, whatever I'm here. I'm just trying to build on that for them and give them the best chance possible to have good careers and move Tranmere forward. So yeah, it's important that we recognise that and we measure the performance and we say, look, you need to go and get better at that. There's a whole host of things that we wanted to improve on Saturday, and I have no doubt when we do the measurements that we do here on performance that they would have improved on that. So every credit to them, but it's all about consistency now, which is a learning thing again. It's unfortunately a learning thing that sometimes you go out and you have to just be good at what the game's asking you. That's simple. That's just what football is. Every game's different. There'll never be two that's ever the same. And that's what this group will learn, because if you go through the whole team, they're very, very young, very, very young in terms of matches played and experience. But we're excited about them because you've seen this evening what they're capable of, and it's the way that we wanted to go this season with a young group, and we want to grow our young group into a very special team.
You were great from the first minute tonight. You could see the attitude, the tackles were going in straight away, and in actual fact it wasn't a great surprise actually that you went ahead, but it was a terrific goal, great ball by Lee O'Connor. Josh gets his heads up, and Elliot, I mean, what a story for him, FA Vase finalist, and a couple of years later he's putting Tranmere ahead against Newcastle in the EFL Cup. Yeah,
again, Elliot's 25, but he's a baby in terms of league experience. So's Lee O'Connor. So all over the team, McLear and Bristow and Matt, my goalkeeper, I think that's his second appearance in world football, if you like. So all over, they're young, and I know that the criticism comes our way sometimes, but trust me, I ignore it, because I understand what development is all about. I get it, I've been in it long enough now, and my job here is to keep supporting these young players, keep trying to make them better, be tough on them when they drop below their standards, because that's how you push people forward. They hopefully trust me and understand that I know what a good player looks like and what good teams are like, and the relationship between us will push them forward to be like I say, we expect this group to keep pushing forward and be a really special team for Tranmere.
Bit of irony in terms of the goals, because Ethan makes a tackle on the player, unfortunately gets stretched off, and then who comes on? Kieran Trippier, and then it's the quality of his corners that cause you problems. But I just wondered, even though they were really good quality corners, are you a bit disappointed with the way you defended the two of them?
First and foremost, that's not a bad sub to make, is it? You know what I mean? That's not bad. Secondly, it's a blatant block. Fair play to them, every credit to them for setting up the block, but anybody in football that knows anything about football sees what was happening, what was unfolding, and we told the fourth official, and we told the linesman, we could see that it was going to happen. So if you see the man from the edge of the box comes across and he blocks Byrne and stops him from being able to mark the guy that spins around the back who gets the free header for the goal, I think is it Lascelles, is it?
Yeah.
He blocks him, he actually runs into him, gets both hands into him and blocks him.
Yeah.
Now anybody in football understands and sees that, you've got to see the blocks. Fair play to Newcastle, they set up the block, they executed it well, but an experienced football man sees that and says, no, I've seen the block, I've seen the it's an obstruction really, it's a stopping of somebody blatantly being able to stay with a man. But listen, Newcastle's a great club and has got great players out there this evening, and if you have great players, they find the moments that get themselves back in the game, and they were able to do that. But we'll learn from it and we'll move forward.
And the equaliser right at the end of the first half, and of course, then Wood scores a goal that he scores, doesn't he? At the start of the second half. But all credit to your team. Even though you went 2-1 down, they kept going. And finished stronger perhaps than them. And when you see players going down in stoppage time with supposed injuries, they're hanging on a little bit.
But they kept going, and what you want to try and do, and what we haven't done apart from Watford here, is been able to keep the game going until the end. We have pretty much been out of the games against the Premiership teams, which even for me to stand here and say that I'm disappointed that we've been out of the game against Manchester United and Tottenham when we've played them here, shows you somewhere where we're at Tranmere. But to take Newcastle to the last breath, to the last moment, is really what you would accept minimum at the end of the game. If you think that it's going to be a contest right until the very end and you're going to be right in the game, that's the minimum that you can ask for from your players, and they delivered on that, and the fans were fantastic. It was great. When we scored, I was quite calm and I looked up because I wanted to see the celebration. I just wanted to watch the crowd celebrate, and I was able to do that because it's great when you see these big games and the Tranmere fans celebrating like the way that they did. It was a special moment for us, and the players take a lot of credit for that.
I touched before about the transfer of the confidence and the performance tonight into the league as well. Does that make you a harder taskmaster as well, because you've seen what they can do, but they know it now, and when you're going to set that even higher standard for them?
Well, what I would say and suggest is that people just let me go on with my job and trust me for that. I understand the game. I understand sometimes that it can be frustrating that the team doesn't produce that consistency that we all expect, because we know that they're capable of. But I understand in development, especially young players, it sometimes takes a wee bit of time to find that League Two consistency, and understanding that the game is not always the way that what you want, but you've just got to dig in and find a way of being good at it. So I would just say that. I would just say, let's keep cracking on. Let's keep supporting these young players. Let's understand the situation that the club is in, the path that we've chose to go with young players. And with young players comes a bit of inconsistency and a bit of learning, but you have to look at where you believe that they may grow and how good that they may become, and then be excited about what it might look like in time. I don't know how long. That's the golden nugget. Nobody knows how long it's going to take before you get this special player or these special teams, but it's definitely moving in the right direction. Bit of consistency. There's a lot to be excited about. And let's just keep pushing it forward.
You had more than your first share of injuries already. Carl Jameson coming off, is that another worry?
Yeah, we like you say, we've not got the biggest of squads. We're relying very heavily on the players going game to game. Again, that's just a situation at the club. We don't have mountains of cash to splash around and all the rest of it. We are set a number of. I have to be careful what I say, because I don't want people then to jump on that. We have a budget, and we have to stick it, and we have to shop in a certain place and try and find these young players that fit into this budget that can keep us moving forward. That's what we've done, and we'll continue to try and make them better. Would it be better if I had Eddie Howe's money? I think we would find that I might have a better team. I think if I can bring Trippier off the bench, because he doesn't deserve to get in the team because he's not as good as Cogley, then we'll be moving certainly in different dance floors, won't we? But at the minute, we've got to get on with it with the Tranmere way, and keep trying to improve players that we can that are in our talent pool that we can afford to bring here.
We're still looking, and if there's a deal to be done, of course, yeah, you know, the door's always open, isn't it?
I don't know about that. I don't know if there's much left in the kitty, but we, like I said before, and I really mean it, I want Tranmere to be here for a long, long time. Sometimes evenings like tonight make that happen. I would never want to run Tranmere into the ground because I want to go and bring Kieran Trippier to the football club in my shift. Tranmere's got to be here for a long time. They've got to look after the ground, the training ground, all the rest of it, and making sure that the club's well run like it is. And then the way that we will work is trying to find these young players out of nowhere and try and polish them up, and then try and move the club forward that way.
And so that players' belief runs over to Colchester on Saturday now.
Yeah, that's it. They've got to do that. They've got to do that. I'll expect that. I'll say that to them before the game. I will say, you've got to go again, lads. Lads, you've got to go again. I don't think for 1 minute I don't say that. I will say you've got to go again. You've got to hit the levels again. Let's go and put on another performance. I will be saying that.